Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, it's come to this. What is happening on the cruise ships as far as passenger levels? We all know they're going up, but the trouble is the cruise lines are running into problems and they could be creating the problem themselves. So right now, many cruise lines like Royal Caribbean, Carnival, Princess, all the cruise lines are basically trying to get more staff. They're having a hard time recruiting staff back to full levels. There's numerous reasons for this. Everything from vaccination requirements to be able to work on board, visa requirements to get the passengers to the crew members to the ships, a whole pile of reasons. Another reason is, well, the pandemic hit, and when they laid off a lot of people, they laid off about 40% of cruise ships and the majority, like staff, and the majority of those in the cruise line industry were from the hotel services, like dining and, stateroom attendants, things like that. Well, many of them found other jobs and decided not to go back when the cruise ships were basically put in hiatus for over a year and a half before anyone got back to work. And they also said that, one of the big contributing factors, remember back in October at one point when we all thought in 2020 that they were going to restart the cruising industry because the CDC was going to end its no sail order and they were going to do the framework for sailing. And all the cruise lines quickly hired all their people back, put them on the cruise ships, started sending the cruise ships to where they're going to sail. And the CDC didn't come out with those guidelines. It took them 7 months to come out with those guidelines. And the cruise ship industry, after waiting 2 months, started sending all those people they had just hired back again. So if you were a previous crew member, you got laid off, and then after a year, you finally go back, and then 2 months later, they lay you off again. Yeah, you're probably going to look for other jobs. So they are having a hard time getting a lot of people back. Now, the cruise lines are trying to fight this. They're trying to do what they can by many job fairs going on around the world, Australia, California, Europe. They're trying to get as many people back as possible. But you have to bring people through training, you have to do the visas, you have to do the vaccinations, you have to do all of this. And some countries are nowhere near the vaccination rate in the United States and Northern Europe. It's just not happening. So they're having a hard time staffing up. So one of the things that's going on cruise ships right now is they don't have enough staff to do all the different venues. They're having a hard time in entertainment venues in some cases to get shows. They're having a hard time to get staff that work behind the scenes for those entertainment shows and things like that, for the lighting and the, just changing clothes. Helping the staff and entertainers change their clothes between production numbers sometimes requires 2 or 3 more people backstage per dancer almost in some cases, depending on the numbers and the production show itself. So it takes a lot of people to put on these things, and if they're having a hard time getting staff, some shows are actually being cut. They're not bringing out all of their shows because they don't have the staff on board to do it. I ran into this experience on a recent Princess cruise. We ran into this experience on a couple other cruises as well, where entertainment was cut back a little bit. Also, your dining. How fast do you get your food? Is the food prepared properly? What venues are open? Is it taking a long time to get your food? In the main dining room, if you go to a main dining room right now, it can take 2 to 3 hours for your regular meal. And it's not necessarily, because you're trying to do that. It's because it can take that long with the amount of staff they have on board to get you the food. Not all ships. Not all ships are experiencing this, but some ships definitely are. And here's the kicker, that the cruise lines are kind of causing this in a way themselves. They're in a hurry to up capacity. More people on board, more money. More ways to recoup all the losses they've done for the past 2 years plus. Remember, they have borrowed billions of dollars through the cruise industry. And so they need to get that money back. They need to show investors that they're profitable. And one way to do that is to fill your ships. And there's no shortage of demand right now for passengers who want to cruise. People want to get out there on the ships. They are tired of being at home. They are tired of being under lockdown. They can't wait to travel, and cruising is seeing a huge explosion of people who want to get on cruise ships. So much so that by the middle of this year, they expect cruising numbers to be back to pre-pandemic numbers already. That's huge growth considering not all ships are even sailing yet. So, but when they're bringing on more and more passengers, but if they don't have the staff numbers to facilitate an increase, then delays are going to happen. And shortages are going to happen, and cutbacks are going to happen, and people are going to start getting disgruntled going on their cruise. Which is why I always say, yeah, especially right now, folks, right now you have to sail with that. Not everything is going to be perfect. I just wanted to get on a vacation kind of attitude, kind of mental status in your head. Things might go wrong. It might take a little longer at dining. It might take a little, one show might not be there out of the 4 shows that I was supposed to see. All kinds of things can happen. But again, if the cruise lines, it's kind of a catch-22, right? They don't want to upset their passengers, but they also need to show that they're making money to the shareholders. They need to show profitability. They need to get, that they're going to hire all these staff. They need to have money coming in to pay for all this staff as well. It's becoming an issue. So as cruise lines go from that 50 to 60% capacity to that 90 to 100% capacity, do they have the 100% staffing on board to be able to deal with that many people? And right now, in a lot of cases, it's not. They don't have the staff on board. We just had the announcement from Carnival saying that they're shutting down their chef's table and they're shutting down their Italian restaurant because they don't have enough staff on board. They need it for the other venues. Well, one of the reasons for that is Carnival has raised the capacity limit on most of their ships. So would they have had to close those down if they didn't have raised the capacity limits? Now, from a company standpoint, you can see what they're doing. They need to make money, and I completely understand the need for that. 2 years of shutdown, no income coming in for a company, and you still have your bills, you still have staff, you still have maintenance, you still have fuel, you still have all those expenses. And they are trying the best now to recuperate those costs as fast as possible. And I completely understand, but it could be to the detriment of those sailing, at least for the near future. Put that into perspective with all the supply issues that are going on out there. And a lot of people might choose to, you know what, I'm still going to wait. I'm still going to wait to cruise because I want to be able to eat at the chef's table. I want to be able to get that more expensive liquor that I want to get on my drink package that might not be available because of the supply issues. All sorts of things. I want to see the shows. I want to see all the shows, not just some of the shows. All this kind of things could be more reason that some people might hold off. We're not seeing that in the booking numbers yet, but reports are now coming out where things with the supply chain as well as staffing issues are causing some issues on the cruise ships. Well, let me know what you guys think. Do you think they should be raising those capacities? Do you understand why they're doing it? It's, if I'm a business, I'm probably doing the exact same thing. If I'm a passenger, I wish they wouldn't. You see, it depends on your perspective. Well, I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. We'll see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world. Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.